Hello my loves. Today we are doing a quick get ready with me everyday makeup routine. It's not gonna be like a full glam makeup look. I'm gonna do that in a separate video, but today I figured I would film just a quick makeup look that I do on an everyday basis when it's just a regular Monday through Friday for me, or just a regular day of me hanging out at the house and working. It's super simple and super quick, and these are all the products that I use on an everyday basis when I do my makeup. So to start off, I already cleansed my face. I applied my toner and my moisturizer, and now I'm gonna go in with my foundation. So with my everyday makeup looks, I don't really put primer on. The primer that I do use is this e.l.f. primer. It is the Power Grip primer. I usually only use this when I'm doing a full glam makeup look, but for my everyday makeup routine, I don't really use it. So I actually just recently purchased two different tones of my everyday foundation. The everyday foundation that I usually wear is in the color 180, and it's the Revlon Color Stay foundation. And this is my go-to drugstore foundation. I honestly don't wear high-end foundation. I haven't in years. I can't remember the last high-end foundation that I've used. Honestly, when it comes to foundation, because putting so many products on top of my face, I don't really care much if it's drugstore or not, so I would rather it be a drugstore product. But yeah, I usually get the color 180, and I really like this one because it is medium to full coverage wear. It does have SPF 15 in it, which I love, and it has vitamin E antioxidant defense, which I also love. Now, I do have combination oily skin, so I do get that one. So it has a more mattifying effect on my face because I do tend to get more oily in my T-zone area. Because it's winter season and I'm super pale around winter season, I actually went a shade higher and I got the 150 as well. So I'm actually going to try mixing the two to see how it looks, because I feel like the 180 shade tends to look a little bit darker on my skin. I can tell when I put on the 180 shade that the color is very noticeable between my neck and my face. So I bought the 150 as well, just to kind of see if it will balance it out, because the 150 is a little too light and then the 180 is a little too dark. So I figured we mix them up today and see how that goes. I already have my damp beauty blender here. I do have multiple beauty blenders that I usually use. I honestly just use one beauty blender for all of my products when it comes to my everyday makeup. I do have separate beauty blenders typically when it comes to doing my foundation, my concealer, and my bronzer, but I'm lazy, so when it comes to my everyday makeup routine, I want it to be under like 10 minutes, if that. So I like to just use one beauty blender and then wash it afterwards. So right now we're going with the typical shade that I use, which is 180. And I like to just dab it all over my face and under my chin and my neck. I'll drag it down a little bit here. I'm trying to be a little bit more mindful of how much pressure I'm putting on my face, because I'm really going to get into my anti-aging skincare. I'm not a skincare expert, by the way, by any means. But a lot of people say that you should just lightly dab on all of your products, skincare, foundation, makeup, anything you're putting on your face. You shouldn't be like dragging it down and pulling it down, especially around your eye area, your neck area. You should really just be lightly applying everything on your face and on your skin. Whether it makes a big difference or not, I don't know. I'm sure over time it does. But that is something I'm trying to practice doing, because sometimes when I'm in a rush, I'm just like really beating my face. I don't really do eyeshadow, to be honest. I like to just rub the beauty blender right above my lashes. I do have the DIY lash clusters on. Okay, so this is how the 180 looks. Honestly, I don't know if you could tell on camera, but the skin like on my chest is a little bit lighter than the skin on my face. And I've always struggled with finding the perfect shade for my skin. I feel like it's nearly impossible sometimes to find at least my shade. But now I'm going to go in with the 150 and we're going to see how this looks. Maybe it'll match. Oh my gosh, it is so light. Yeah, this is way lighter. But let's see if it matches a little bit better. I'm not too concerned with the eye area because we're gonna put concealer on. I could totally see the difference though when it comes. It's just crazy how one shade can make such a huge difference on your face. Okay, I actually kind of like it. I didn't put as much on my neck area. I actually think this is kind of better. I'm not gonna say it's completely perfect, but it's pretty close. It is pretty close compared to my face and my chest. It actually matches better than when I just used the shade 180. So this actually worked out pretty well. This is my first time trying to mix the shades. I probably should have dabbed them both at the same time and then mixed them together, but I'm just too lazy to do that right now. And I probably wouldn't do that on a regular basis. Okay, next we're gonna go in with bronzer. So I use Revlon, once again, I use Revlon Color Stay Skin Awaken. This is a caffeine vitamin E concealer. I honestly picked some random shade, shade 75. I like to just use this to contour as a cream contour. I feel like some girls can literally just not use any sort of cream contour underneath their makeup, but I just can't. My skin and my makeup just looks so cakey and it just doesn't work when I try to just put on bronzer. So I, for some reason, have to put on a cream bronzer. And I like to put some under my jawline because of my double chin. I have to lose weight, guys. It's getting out of control. That's gonna be something else I'm gonna be filming, is my fitness journey as well, because I haven't worked out since I was like in college. I don't like working out, you guys, but we are gonna start working out now. Honestly, a very lazy girl, so this is like my lazy girl makeup routine. All right, now we're gonna blend this out. And then I also go on the opposite side of where I put the foundation when I'm using one beauty blender because I'm so lazy. I'll just use the back of the beauty blender, and then I'm gonna put the concealer and use the foundation side to blend out the concealer. But we are just gonna blend out this on the forehead. I have to do my forehead, you guys. I can't just only do my cheeks. For some reason, it just doesn't look right on my face. I have to do my forehead, cheeks, and under my jaw. It just doesn't feel right if I'm not doing everything. And then I like to dab the excess around my nose area. I'm still trying to master contouring my nose. I feel like I either do it too little or too much. Okay. So now that we have the bronzer on, we are now going to go in with my concealer. So I use the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Full Wear Concealer. This is in the shade 330 Ivory. I like to use a really bright shade when it comes to my concealers. This is a very pigmented concealer, and I actually really love it because it does stay on all day. If I'm going to use a high-end concealer, I will use the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer or the NARS Concealer as well. I do like to put some concealer above and under my lips because when I do my lips, I do like to overline them just a smidge. So honestly, you just put like 2 dots under your eyes and then a little bit around the other areas of your face because this concealer is super blendable. and it's very pigmented. I know it looks a little scary, but I promise once it's blended out, it will look better. Now when I do my forehead, I do like to flip the sponge on the contour side and just blend out these little corners that look a little rough. And then I'm gonna flip it back, do the bridge of my nose, and then the other side of my eyes. Now there is some concealer marks that are left over in the corner of my eyes, so to blend that out, I like to just take the tip of the Beauty Blender and just smooth it over so it blends into my eyelid. Perfect. Now at this point, super quick, I will use my kimchi powder. I'm obsessed with this kimchi powder. I bought it on the TikTok shop. I've been using it ever since. I think I bought it maybe a year or two ago, and it's like the only one that I use now. I love it so much. If I don't use this kimchi powder, I'll use Morphe. The high-end version that I used to use is Laura Mercier, the Laura Mercier powder. But I'm just obsessed with this kimchi one. It's so cute and it's pink, and I love the brightness it gives me. We're gonna bake under the eyes first. And really we're gonna bake around all the areas that we just applied the concealer with. Sometimes when I'm dabbing it into the powder, I like to take the cap and just blend it in like this, so it's a little bit smoother and not chalky. And if you guys are new to makeup, or if makeup seems overwhelming to you, or if these steps in general seem overwhelming to you, I swear the more that you practice, the faster and faster you're gonna get at it. And then lastly, we're gonna set the forehead area where we had our concealer. Now after I do that, I like to take my powder brush. I bought this so long ago. I think it's a Sephora brush, and it is number 91. I don't even know if they sell these anymore because I bought it that long ago, and I haven't seen them, at least since the last time I went to Sephora, which I don't really go to Sephora that much. I love Ulta the most. But as I get more into makeup, I'll probably be stopping into Sephora more often. But I like to just dab a little bit of excess. I'm putting the blender into the powder, and then I'm mixing it in like this, dabbing out some of the excess, and just lightly set the rest of my face. Now, as I'm lightly setting the rest of my face, what I like to do is I like to swipe away the excess powder that we baked with. So that it looks more natural. Perfect. So now that we've done that, I'm gonna quickly do my lips. This is my favorite part because I always look like a ghost with all the powder residue from my lips. So I love when I put on my lipstick. I am using the MAC color in Honey Love. This is my go-to everyday lipstick. I love a brownish nude type of lip color. So the lip liner I'm going in with is the infamous MAC lip liner in the color Cork. Every makeup girly has this in their vanity or in their makeup bag, is this color. I'll just lightly line my lips. And then after I line the lips, I like to fill in the top and blend it downwards because the color is so drastically different. And then I'll rub my lips together so that it all blends together like this. Now, one thing I will say is sometimes it comes out a little bit darker than I want it to. So if I want to lighten up the color a little bit, because maybe I blended the liner, the super brown colored liner, I blended it too much into my nude pink lipstick, I will lighten just the middle of it with a dab of concealer. I'll just put it right in the middle. And then use my finger to lighten it up. And then lastly, I like to do my eyebrows. I know people usually do their eyebrows first, and I honestly do my eyebrows first, but only when I'm doing a full glam makeup routine, because I'll do the eyebrows, fill in the brows, do the concealer around the eyebrows, then do the eyeshadow and do a whole eye makeup look first, and then put on the foundation and contour after. But because this is just a lazy girl everyday makeup routine, I just put the brows on really quick after. I'll only fill in the front part mostly, and I'll just lightly feather in all of the areas where my hairs are more sparse. And lately I've been liking this technique of filling in the top piece as well, where the arch goes. I never used to do that before, but I'm kind of starting to like doing that now. And then once I lightly feather in that color, I will just blend it out with the spool, with a little spoolie brush, until I feel like it's faded in enough where it looks more like my natural eyebrow. And then we're gonna do the other side quickly. I'm really impressed because I am doing my makeup very far away. I do not have my close-up makeup mirror that I usually use in front of me, so I'm just using the vanity mirror that's behind the camera. So I'm kind of impressed with myself that I can do this far away without seeing any of this makeup up close. And they always say that your eyebrows will never look identical as long as they look related. That's all that really matters. I'm happy with that. Then after I do my eyebrows, I will put on a little bit of bottom mascara. Oh, by the way, sorry. Sorry guys, I don't think I showed you. For the brows, I do use the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow definer. I love the brow definer. It has a thicker pencil and I absolutely love it. For mascara, I am using, it's got to be Revlon or L'Oreal, one of the two, but it is the Voluminous Million Lashes. And I just put this on the bottom of my lash. Again, if I'm doing a full glam makeup look, I will repeat the bottom lash a million times until I get it dark enough. The fact that I can put on mascara now without having to open my mouth is a miracle. And then last but not least, I just throw on some bronzer. So this bronzer I got from Ulta. I just picked it up randomly and I've been using it ever since and I really like it. It is called the Juvia's Place Bronzed palette, and it is in the shade medium. Honestly, I'm just too lazy to do my research and find like that really perfect dupe bronzer. But honestly, this does a very good job. I really like it. And I do both colors. I don't like to just stick to one, so I'll just dab it in both. Dab off the excess, and then I will usually just go on my cheeks and on my forehead. And that is honestly it. I'll use the excess to put under my chin area and my jawline just to make it look a little bit more snatched. And that's pretty much it, guys, for my makeup look. Now, I do use a setting spray. I picked up this NYX face glue setting spray not too long ago. I forgot I was going to an event and I had to pick up a setting spray last minute. I forgot what event that I went to, but I've been using it and I like it. But the ultimate setting spray that I swear by is by Urban Decay. Obsessed with that setting spray. That's more of a high-end setting spray, but that is my ultimate go-to and it always has been. So that is pretty much it for my everyday makeup routine. This is what I do on an everyday basis. Honestly, most days I don't wear makeup, but now that I'm doing more content stuff and I'm getting into my content creator journey, I am going to be doing my everyday makeup routine way more often, especially as I'm vlogging and doing daily vlogs on here. It is Vlogmas. I cannot believe it is already December, and what better way to start my YouTube channel than on December 1st, which is the first of a new month. And I love having a fresh start to a brand new month. I love when it's the first. I feel like it's just a fresh new chapter. It is a fresh new month, and I just feel so motivated to complete a bunch of goals that I have. So there are a lot of goals that I have in the month of December. A lot of Christmas stuff that we're going to be doing, a lot of get ready with me's, a lot of vlogging, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. And also, of course, Christmas gift shopping. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little quick, lazy girl, everyday makeup routine. You don't obviously have to do a lot of these steps, but this is what I like to do as my go-to everyday makeup routine, where I look good, I feel good, and it just sets the tone for the rest of the day. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you made it this far, I love you so much. And I cannot wait to start this journey with you guys. And I'll see you on the next video. Mwah.